very strong. And I also heard Jim, M3ZHI. So I'll just quickly go back to AMO. This is Peter, G7RPG. You're a fairly weak signal. I'm operating a remote base station radio, which is in Manchester, but I'm actually in Portsmouth. And so you're fairly weak on the remote station. We've also got Mike, the M0XMX, who I believe is going to be going live on YouTube with a live broadcast, so you might be able to hear yourself on there. Anyway, I'll pass it over to Mike, M0XMX. This is G7RPG.
Yeah, Roger Pete. Very good afternoon, everybody. Okay, we're now live. We are live on the M0XMX YouTube channel. So if anybody wants to see themselves or see what the signal sounds like or anything like that, I'm using a Flex SDR radio, software defined, which is actually located just outside of Chester. I'm physically sat in the middle of the country, which is Burton on Trent. And yeah, we've created a little bit of a pile up here, Pete. So yeah, very, very good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to pass it over to Pete, G7RPG, and then Pete, feel free to bring the people in. So over to you, Pete, from M0XMX. Over.
Yeah, just a quick one, Mike. If anybody wants to watch or listen on YouTube, how do they do it?
Yep, okay, just go to YouTube and type in my call sign. You'll find me. Or alternatively, go to Google and type in my call sign, and again, you'll find me. My call sign is Mike 0, X-ray, Mike X-ray. Mexico 0, X-ray, Mexico X-ray. Back over to you, Pete, M0XMX.
Yeah, great stuff. Okay, let me just quickly just tie the ribbons. 2E0 AMO. This is G7RPG. Good afternoon. Can I have a report from you, please? Over. And what's your name and your QTH?
Roger. Yeah, it's Steve, Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo, South East UK, Berkshire, near Windsor Castle. You're 5 and 6, 5, 6, 5, 7 to me. No problem at all. Same with Mike as well. Mike's the same, mate. I've got him on YouTube anyway. I'm just sat listening to him now. I'll start watching it anyway. But yeah, many thanks for coming back to my call. Like I say, you've got Steve on the MQSL.
Yeah, okay, Steve. Thanks for the 5, 6, 5, 7. Did you say you're in Barnstable?
No, Berkshire, near Windsor Castle.
Oh, Berkshire, okay, yeah, no problem at all. Well, you're a fairly weak signal. I'm going to give you a 4 and 7, 47 into Manchester. So thanks for the contact today. I appreciate there's a couple of people waiting, so I'm going to try and get to them as quickly as possible. Jim, M3ZHI. Hello, Jim. How's your coffee? Over.
Anything else, HI? Long wire and a 9-to-1 balance. Delta set up for Peter. Not raining. A little bit overcast, but not raining at the moment. Anyway, back to you, Peter.
Yeah, great stuff. Well, it's nice to make the contact with you, Jim. You're a fairly weak signal with me, but I'm going to give you a 4 and 7, 47. And pleasure to speak to you in Rotherham this afternoon. I'll hand it over to Mike, and hopefully he's copying you. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, roger that. Okay, we are now live streaming on YouTube. I've just put a post on the HubNet Facebook group, just to let anybody know on there. It could turn into a bit of an event, Pete. Yeah, Jim, sorry, I didn't catch your call sign. But yeah, Jim, are you copying me? This is Mike 0, X-ray, Mike X-ray, over.
Yeah, Roger, just getting you in there. Four and three, I would say 4 and 3. A little bit difficult copying at times. Hotel India, Mike 3, Zulu Hotel India, name's Jim, and the QTH is Rosalind.
Yeah, all copied there, Jim. No problem whatsoever. Yeah, you're just above my noise floor, roughly around about 5556. But very, very nice to get you in the log there, Jim. We didn't actually start off this afternoon to do a net like this or a pile up. In actual fact, it was just me and Pete doing some tests on 40 meters with our 2 remotely operated stations, and then before we knew it, we had lots and lots of people calling in. So yeah, we're now live streaming it onto HubNet. Anyway, I'll pass it back to you, Pete. G7RPG M0XMX, over.
Yeah, great stuff. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, nice, very, very strong signal from you as well. It's working extremely well. Nice to speak to you, Jim. I think it's the first time
this is Mike 0, X-ray, Mike
so
X-ray.
nice to get
Just
you in
a
my
very,
little
very quick
paper
message
logbook
to
this
anybody that's
afternoon.
interested.
And thanks for giving
Pete,
us, really appreciate it.
G7RPG,
And
myself are
all the
currently on
best
40
to
meters.
you,
We're having a QSO. We've
M3
got a little bit of a
ZHI in
pilot
Rotherham.
going on
This is G7RPG
7167
in Portsmouth that work in remote
also we're
via the
streaming it live on
Manchester
YouTube on
HS
my
station.
YouTube
Cheers,
channel, which you can find
cheers,
just by
Jim.
typing in my call sign.
Yeah,
There you go. Just wanted to let you know, anybody that's interested, Mike 0, X-ray, Mike X-ray, standing by.
I'll check out the YouTube channel now, I think, and see what's happening on there. Let you continue, Peter, and
Yeah, the M7 station. Sorry, I can't stop. I'm in the middle of doing this this net with Pete, but I just wanted to let anybody on HubNet know that was interested in that. 7167 is where we are. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Yeah, I think that was back to me. Sorry about that. I was just putting a little bit of a shout out on HubNet just to let anybody know. Sorry, I missed the whole of that over. Was there any particular questions for me, or was it just you passing the mic? M0XMX standing by.
No, it's just me. Pass.
Yep. Okay, Pete. Well, yeah, we're live. We've got 6 viewers watching at the moment. I've put a shout out on HubNet, and I've also put a post on the Facebook page. So, yeah, could have a little bit of fun going on this afternoon, Pete. Over.
Yeah, it sounds like we've got ourselves a convoy. I've been seeing a few little tuning signals. On 7167, so I don't know whether anybody's there, Mike. Actually, whilst I think about it, there was a third break station. Literally was somebody who said breaks. I don't know if you're still there. Sorry for keeping you waiting.
Mexico 0, Foxtrot Sierra Delta.
Yeah, got you loud and clear. Do you want to take that one, Mike?
Yeah, Roger. Mexico 0, Foxtrot Sierra Delta. Very, very good afternoon, Danny, up in Blackburn. You're talking to Mike in Burton on Trent. I'm operating a remote station which is located just near Chester. And also you've got Pete, G7RPG, who's operating a remote station not very far away from Chester. So there you go. It's a bit of a strange one this afternoon in the way that both of us are working stations that are nowhere near where we're located. So yeah, I'll pass it back to you there, Danny, and then I'll pass you down to Pete. M0FSD from M0XMX and the group, over.
M0FSD, yeah, you got the name right, Dan. You got the location right, Dan. And your signal reporter, you're a solid 5 and 9. You're solid 59. working conditions here is the Icom IC7300. That's kicking 6 watts into an SPE amplifier, pushing about 350 into a rotary dipole at 20 metres. Absolutely cracking signal. Your remote station is working very well. M0MX, XMX, M0FSD, back to you, over.
Yeah, all copied there, Dan. Yep, no problem. I don't know whether you copied what I said earlier on, but we're actually live streaming this as well. So if you're interested in seeing your signal on the Flex, then if you go to my YouTube channel, which you can find by typing my call sign into YouTube or into Google, then you'll actually see the live stream, and then you can play it back and hear what you sound like and see what your signal's formed like and all that kind of stuff. And you'll find that, as I say, just by typing in my call sign. I'll pass it over to you, Pete, because I've just got to go and take a quick comfort break. So G7RPG, M0XMX and the group, over.
Yeah, okay, G6ZDP, acknowledged. Good afternoon, Danny, nice to speak to you. Nice call sign, by the way, M0 full-scale deflection on the signal. You're 5 and 9, no problem at all here. I'm in Portsmouth and I'm operating a remote radio similar to Mike. I'm using the Icom IC7300, which is in Lee, just southwest of Manchester. So not a million miles away from you, and the station that Mike is in Northwich and Cheshire. So I'm also listening to you on the Hat Green Web SDR receiver, and you're a good 5 and 9 plus onto that receiver as well. So anyway, nice to speak to you today, and I wonder how you copy me. M0FSD, G7RPG.
G7RPG, M0FSD. Solid 5 and 9, Peter. We have spoke before, actually. I think it was on either 20 or 40. I think it was the Dorset Steam Fair. And I was on holiday in Cornwall, and I didn't speak to you then. But I don't hear much of you on these bands. I think I've heard your name mentioned on 2 metres. I don't know if you're a 2-metre operator. I'm not a 2-metre operator. I'm not into VHF digital or anything like that. I'm old school. I like to climb on roofs and try falling off and put aerials that are quite too big for what my hands to handle. So but I've heard you on, and I have spoke to you before. I remember you being at the Dorset Steam Rally. You're 5 and 9, solid 5 and 9, Peter. G7RPG, M0FSD, back to you, Pete.
G7RPG. No, I've never been to the Dorset Steam Rally, so maybe I've spoken to you somewhere else. I'd have to get my logbook out and see if I suppose I could do that now. Let's have a look here. M0FSD. Let's have a look here. Log to contact. No, hang on. I need to reset my logbook. It's timed out, so we'll scratch that. But anyway, nice to speak to you today, and I've got you in my little paper logbook here, and I'll just quickly, there's somebody else been calling, so I want to see if I can get back to them. But thanks for the contact, Danny, and all the best. This is G7RPG.
Yeah, G7RPG, M0FSD return. Yeah, it might be under my old call at 2E0FSD. I remember you said you had a camper van. I thought you said you were at the Dorset Steam Fair. You were somewhere around Dorset in a camper van, if I remember rightly. But it is a few years ago. Me and the wife was in Turkey on holiday. I remember speaking to you. You've got a very distinctive voice. Anyway, Pete, you have a great time with the other guy there, and I wish you best 73s, and you enjoy your weekend. And I'm going to disappear now and watch a bit of horse racing for the Grand National. So have a great one. 73s, G7RPG, M0FSD. We're clear. Bye-bye.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Danny. Yeah, well, I may have worked you portables from somewhere in a camper van. That's possible, yeah. So you've obviously got a much better memory than me. And I don't know, you're having a little flutter on the horses, but good luck anyway. 7-3, Danny. G6ZDP. Kev, I wonder if you're copying. This is G7RPG.
G7RPG. Yeah, you're 5 and 9. 5 and 9 plus. Sometimes you're peaking up to a 5 and 9 plus at 20, Peter. Back to you. In Golf 6 to the Delta Park.
Yeah, Yeah, just stand by 1 sec, Kev. The mobile station, go ahead. Yeah, Mike 0, Echo Bravo Juliet mobile. This is Golf 7 Romeo Papa Golf. Yeah, my name's Peter. I'm in Portsmouth, but I'm operating a remote HF station, which is just south of Manchester. I'm copying you. Weak but readable, over. Yeah, okay, Steve. I wonder if you're heading over to the Western Isles, over.
Yeah, we're doing a G7RPG from the Isle of Coll. The full sign if you look it up is Golf Bravo 0,
Yeah, GB0SIC. Yeah, got you, no problem at all there, Steve. And yeah, fine on 100 watts and a whip antenna near Oban. Well, hopefully, the last time I sailed back from North Uist was back to oh no, it's to Skye. Sorry, no, I'm getting myself mixed up here. But anyway, I hope I hope it's not too windy up there. I know it can be pretty wild. Just bear with me 1 second, Steve. We've got a couple of other stations on. M0XMX. Mike, are you back from your comfort break? Yeah, okay, Mike. Well, I'll just tie the ribbons with you. You've got a few people on and there's somebody waiting patiently. I just wanted to bring you in as a mobile station, but nice to make contact with you. And really good luck with your special event station, GB0SIC. I'll definitely keep a listen out for you. Cheerio for now, Steve. M0EBJ mobile. Oh, this is G7RPG.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks very much. I can hear you out, Mike.
Sorry, I muted it when I went to the toilet. Thanks, Stu. Thanks for pointing that out.
Look forward to hearing you. 90EBJ mobile, 73 guys.
Yeah, can you just give Mike a report?
Yeah, Mike, you're 5 and 8, 58, over.
Yeah, Roger. Thanks for that, Steve. You are 5 and 8 also with me. No problem whatsoever. Have a great day. 7-3. Back to you, Pete.
Are you about 5 and 9? Tango, Zulu, radio, mobile.
They're like buses. You wait for ages for a mobile station. M0TZR mobile G7RPG. Great signal. 5 and 9 from you, Paul. How copy? Yeah, great. I won't keep it. Over to you, Mike. Can you copy in M0TZR Paul straight mobile?
Yeah, hello, Paul. It's Mike 0, X-ray, Mike X-ray. You are slightly above my noise, so a very, very tough copy for me. 3 and 5 from Mike 0, X-ray, Mike X-ray. Do you copy, Paul? Over.
Mobile, yeah, thanks for the report.
5-7.
Mike, you're 5 and 9, 69, nice signal over.
5-7. That time, Paul. Came up a good 2S points, and I could hear you very, very clearly. No problem whatsoever. I was in your neck of the woods actually a couple of weeks ago at Hartlepool, and I hope you've got as good a weather as what I had last. When I was last up there. Very, very much enjoyed the northeast coast there, Paul. Take care. I'll pass it back to Pete. G7RPG M0XMX.
G0SWD.
Yeah, G7RPG. Thanks, Mike. Okay, yeah, well, very nice to speak to you, Paul, and good luck with the bunker station. I was listening to somebody working the bunker stations a little bit further down the band earlier on this afternoon. So, but will all stations please stand by? All stations please stand by. I'm really sorry, Kev. We just had a couple of mobiles calling here, and as you can imagine, I was eager to work them. G6ZDP, the G7RPG.
G6ZDP picking up. Yeah, I guess that, no problem whatsoever. I heard Paul, he was coming in at about 5 and 7, and I think the other station mobile was Danny. He was right in the back of the box, Your report is 5 and 9 plus, and Mike is also about the same signal of 5 and 9 plus. Back to you, G7RPG, G6ZDP, QSS.
Yeah, thank you very much for the 5 and 9 plus. You're a fairly weak signal with me. I'm listening on the remote radio. I'm talking to you through, which is just south of Manchester. And you're just above the noise floor. And I'm also listening on the Hat Green web SDR, where you're signal 7 and the sort of readability 4. But quite sort of perfectly copyable, but not as strong as some other people have been. So I'll quickly pass it over to Mike, and hopefully he's copying you as well. Over to you, Mike.
Yeah, Roger, thanks for that, Pete. Yeah, Golf 6 Zulu Delta Papa. Hiya, Kevin. Nice to hear you on real radio for a change. Yeah, you're about a 5 and 8 with me, no problem whatsoever. And as you probably heard, we're live streaming this at the moment. So if you pop onto that live stream, either live or recorded, you'll be able to play it back and actually see and hear yourself. So yeah, no problem whatsoever there, Kevin. As I say, nice to work you for the first time on real radio. Back to you.
Right.
G6ZDP returning. Roger. Okay. Yeah, your audio, I don't want to upset you, Peter, but your audio is a lot crisper and clearer than Peter's. A lot crisper and clearer there, Mike. Yeah, I'm on the Icom IC7300, running on a long wire with a 9 to 1 Unum. But we'll see what happens with your QSOs, and I might jump on the 7, 6, 10 and the vertical, and when there's a bit of a space, give you a shout and see if Peter can get me a little bit better. Okay, I'll pop it over to Peter, and then I'll listen in and let the other stations contact you there. From Golf 6 Zulu Delta Papa. Over to you, Peter, G7RPG.
Tango Mexico.
Yeah, all stations, please stand by for one moment, please. We'll call you in a second.
We doubled there, Mike. I was just about to say the same thing. I just opened my the TX bandwidth set to narrow, and that was I wonder if that sounds any different to you now, Kev.
Roger, a lot better, Peter.
Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, anyway, nice to speak to you this afternoon, Kev, and got you on my little paper log here. This is, I only called Mike just on the off chance to try out our remote radios to see if we could talk to each other. And it's spiraled out of control here. So, but anyway, it's been really good fun, and definitely something I'll remember. So 7-3 Kev, all the best, and over to you, Mike.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, see you, Kev. See you on the synthetic radio sooner or later. Okay, we've got so many stations calling in, Pete. We're going to have to try and manage this properly. So, yeah, QRZ, please. This is Mike 0, X-ray, Mike X-ray.
Golf 0, Mike 0, uniform, Kilo Bravo.
Tango Mike.
Okay, the Golf 0 station, please go ahead.
Go Mexico.
Yeah, Golf 0, Sierra Delta Delta.
Okay, G0SDD, very, very good afternoon to you, Chris. Yeah, you're 5 and 9 with me, no problem. That is a true signal report, by the way. You are 5 and 9 with me, no problem whatsoever there, Chris. Very, very nice to work you. My name is Mike. I'm in Burton on Trent, and I'm actually working a remote station, which is up near Chester at the moment, which is a flex. And I'm talking to Pete, G7RPG down in Portsmouth, and he's working a remote station not very far away from Chester. So there you go, bit of an odd one this afternoon. And we're also live streaming this onto my YouTube channel, which you can find just by typing in my call sign. So yeah, back over to you, Chris. And then maybe Pete can pick up the microphone from you. G0STD, M0XMX and the group, over.
M0XMX in the group, G0 Sierra Delta Delta. Yeah, good afternoon, Mike, and to you, Peter. And okay, on your your event there, yeah, it's quite interesting listening there. It's quite a while since we worked. I think we have worked in the past, but we have. But I don't keep a record of interview anyway. But yeah, you're 5 and 9, also genuine 5 and 9 plus. Mike and Peter also. By the way, I'm running 20 watts. The transceiver's the Giga G90, and the antenna is a Zulu Sierra 6 Bravo.
Please don't tune up over the frequency.
30 foot in an inverted V. There, Mike, back to you from G0SWD. Doing a fine job there.
Yeah, roger that, Chris. Well, yeah, we've actually worked 4 times before. 3 times on 80 and once on 40. So, yeah, fine business. I'll pass you down to Pete. Also, gents, a moment of etiquette, please. Please don't tune up over the frequency that you're intending to talk on. Move off, tune, and then come back. Pete, G7RPG, do you copy Chris, G0SDD, over?
Yeah, G0SDD, this is G7RPG. Good afternoon, Chris. My name is Peter, and I'm in Portsmouth, where the sun is shining, and I'm operating a remote radio, which is just south of Manchester, with an IC7300, using the Icom RSBA1 remote control software. So I'm using a headset microphone on my computer here, and I'm controlling the radio, which is in a friend's caravan at the bottom of his garden with a inverted L antenna. So that's the story here, and I wasn't looking at the signal meter actually. I was sort of busy filling out the logbook here, but it looks like it's the first time we've worked. So you're a very good strong signal anyway. Back to you, Chris. How copy?
G7RPG, G0SWD. Yeah, fine there, Peter. Yeah, this is very slow QSB, so you're going up to 5 and 9, and they're just down a couple of S1s. That makes no difference to me anyway, what I hear. And yeah, fine on everything there. You're not, I suppose, not too far away down in Portsmouth. I'm in the Forest of Dean, by the way. I didn't give Mike the location, but I think he's got it. About 3 miles from the town of Lydney in the county of Gloucestershire. Yeah, just using the Giga G90 with 20 watts there. Peter, back to you. G7RPG, G0SWD.
Yeah, okay, no problem until you sound great on the G90. I've had the opportunity to operate a couple of those myself, and was really, really impressed with how it worked. But anyway, I'm not going to hold it, because I know there's quite a few people wanting to call in, and just for your information, Chris, Mike is live streaming this to YouTube, and if you go onto YouTube and search for Mike's call sign M0XMX, you'll be able to either watch live or listen back to this. So, but anyway, pleasure to speak to you this afternoon, and your signal report is a nice 5 and 9, very copyable, nice audio, no problem at all. So all the best 7-3 from me. Over to you, Mike. This is G7RPG.
Yeah, roger. Okay. QRZ, anybody else? This is M0XMX standing by.
Mike 0.
2 Echo 0 Oscar Tango Mike. 2 Echo 0 Oscar Tango Mexico Mike.
Okay, the 2E0 station, please stand by. You're next. There was an M0 station before. Please go ahead.
Yeah, this is Mike 0, Uniform Kilo Bravo, M0 UKB.
Roger, Roger, Roger. M0 UKB. Hello, Bruce. Long time no speak. How you doing? Over.
M0XMX from M0 UKB. Yeah, doing all right, thanks, Mike. Yeah, not so bad. I was flicking around and I saw on Facebook you were on, so I thought, I'm going to see if I can hear you. You're clear as a bell. You're 10 over 9 with me, as is Peter, both sounding absolutely spot on. I'm using a 991A here, running 100 watts at this end, and I'm using my half-wave end fed that runs nicely across the garden. It's probably doing a bit of end this. It's about 4.5 metres above the ground, so tends to work quite well into G on 40. Back to you, Mike. M0XMX from M0 UKB.
Yeah, fine business there, Bruce. You're just tipping into the red, so a couple of dB over 9. Lovely audio, no problem whatsoever with the copy there, Bruce. Pete, do you copy Bruce, M0 UKB and the group M0XMX?
Yeah, G7RPG. Yeah, okay. Mixed signal reports actually. Good afternoon, Bruce. You're plus 20 on the Hat Green Web SDR receiver, but barely copyable. I'm actually using a remote radio just south of Manchester. The noise floor's S7, and you're only just above that. So I'm hearing you. I've got some earphones. I've basically got Hat Green coming out of one ear and the other radio coming out of the other. So. I can kind of sort of work out the difference. So much stronger on the Hat Green Web SDR receiver. So I don't know. Propagation's obviously shifting around, but nice to speak to you this afternoon. Back to you, Bruce. This is the G7RPG.
Yeah, G7RPG from M0 UKB in the group. Yeah, no problem at all there, Peter. Yeah, I know what you mean. You dropped down a little bit midway through your last over, and then came back up, and yeah, conditions obviously just moving around a bit, but nice to hear you, and yeah, your audio is really nice, punchy audio out of both of you. So yeah, your remote radio is doing rather well. I'm guessing it's a Flex or something like that, is it, Peter? G7RPG from M0 UKB.
Yeah, okay, Bruce. I don't want to hold it because there's lots of people calling, but I'm using an Icom IC7300 with the excuse me. Sorry about that. I'm using the IC7300 with the RSBA1, and Mike's on a Flex. But anyway, nice to speak to you, and I'll pass it back to Mike. And all the best, 7-3. This is G7RPG. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, all copied, no problem, Pete. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. I'm running the Flex, and the Flex is now living just outside Chester. So my signal is going via the internet to Chester, and then it's going via RF up to the northeast for you. Excuse me a sec. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Anyway, Bruce. Not going to hold it. If you don't mind, I'm going to carry on calling because there was quite a few stations there. But very, very nice to work you again, Bruce. Take care. And till we meet again, 7-3. There was a 2 Echo 0 station there that I promised would be next. So please, 2E0 QRZ.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mike. It's 2 Echo 0 Oscar Tango Mexico. 2 Echo 0 Oscar Tango Mike. Over.
Yeah, all copied. Hello, Owen. How are you? Very, very nice to work you. Another person from the northeast. We seem to be speaking to lots of people from around Sunderland area today. I don't know whether it's propagation or whether it's the way that our antennas are facing. But yeah, very, very good afternoon to you, Owen. Not sure if we've worked before. Let's have a quick look. What does it say? No, we haven't. Well, apparently. But anyway, very, very nice to work you. So my call sign's M0XMX, and as I say, I'm working a remote station which is located near Chester, and I'm talking to Pete, who's down in Portsmouth, and he's working a remote station which is also located not very far from Chester. So, and also we're live streaming this onto my YouTube channel, which you can find just by putting my call sign into Google or into YouTube. I'll pass you I'll pass you down to Pete in a second. But yeah, back over to you. 2E0 OTM M0XMX, over.
Yeah, no problem, Mike. I've watched a few of your videos before. I think we have worked before, but I can't find you in my log either. I'm actually listening to you both on an online SDR because I suffer horrendously with noise on 40 meters. You're both 5 and 7, 5 and 8 on my radio with noise. You're both 25 to 30 over on the SDR online there, Mike, over.
Ah, Roger, which SDR are you using, over?
Yes, the one down in Great Yarmouth, it's I think what they call it, I can't think of the call sign now, I had a call sign wrote down, it's in Western Supermare. The call sign's not on the screen here, sorry, it's down in Western Supermare, Mike.
Ah, right, okay. Doesn't ring a bell. Hack Green is the one that I know, and that would be the one that I would have already guessed. Pete's already monitoring that, so we know what we sound like through Hack Green. But I'm not aware of a web SDR based down in Western Supermare. Over to you, Pete. Are you aware of any web SDRs down in Western Supermare? And the station that we're talking to is 2E0 OTM, by the way. G7RPG M0XMX in the group.
Yeah, G7RPG, and very good afternoon to you, Owen. Getting a good signal from you. I'm operating a remote station that's up just south of Manchester, and I'm also listening on the Hack Green web SDR as well. So I've kind of got you coming in stereo here. You're much stronger on the Hack Green receiver than you are on the remote station that I'm using. Is it one of the Kiwi SDR receivers that you're listening to at Western? It's GB3WB SDR. Is that correct, Owen? Over.
G7RPG to Echo Zero Oscar Tango. Yeah, you're correct here. That's exactly what it is. It's the one I go to most of the time. It's actually fixed into my. It's the go-to on my Station Master software there. Over.
Yeah, it's very good. I'm just trying to think of the chap G4. G4. No, I can't. Andy, his name is, but I can't remember his call sign for the life of me. But I do know the gentleman. Back to you.
Yeah, when you go to the Kiwi site, it actually shows you the call sign. I thought it was on the screen, but I can't find it anywhere on the screen. They've got everything, all the information about the equipment and everything there, Peter, but not the call sign, unfortunately. Right, I won't hold it too much longer because I know you're very busy and there's loads of people calling in there. So thanks both of you for the online. I'm going to go and listen to myself on the YouTube there. Thank you, G7RPG, 2 Echo Zero Oscar Tango, Mike. And you, mate.
Yep, no problem. See you soon. Over to you, Pete.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, nice to speak to you, Owen, and I've got you in the log. And it's a pleasure to work with you this afternoon. Cheerio. Back to you, Mike.
Yeah, Roger. Sorry, I was just looking on this GB3WB site, and I can't actually even see where the web SDR is. But interesting. So we've got a good takeoff. Well, clearly you have anyway. But I've got a better takeoff down that way than Hack Green by the sounds of it. So that's interesting. Anyway, Kenneth is saying that he's on 7167 and there's somebody completely different on there. So yeah, don't know what's going on there. Anyway, QRZ please. Anybody else? This is Mike Zero X-Ray, Mike X-Ray and QSO with G7RPG and company. Oh, there's a Golf 7 Whiskey Kilo question mark station. Go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon. This is Whiskey Kilo Whiskey. The name is Martin in the
Yeah, Roger Martin, you're literally just over the water from Pete, who I'm talking to. You're very, very weak with me. I'm literally only just about picking you up above my noise floor. So I'll see if Pete's getting you any different. My name's Mike. My call sign is M0XMX, and I'm going to pass you over to Pete, which is Golf 7 Romeo Papa Golf, and he's located in Portsmouth. However, he's transmitting from Chester. We're both operating remote today, but I'll pass you over to Pete, see if Pete's receiving you any better there, Martin. Pete, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. 7WKW, this is G7RPG in sunny Portsmouth. Unfortunately, I can hear you on the Hut Green Web SDR receiver, but I can't hear you on the remote receiver I'm using, which is the remote transceiver, an IC7300, which is just south of Manchester. So fairly weak signal on Hut Green due to the sort of high-ish noise floor on the base station, the remote base station that I'm using today. It's a no copy from me, unfortunately. But nice to speak to you over there on the Isle of Wight. Back to you, Martin. How copy? G7RPG.
G7RPG from G7WKW. You're driving on 59. It's a nice.
Yeah, Golf 7 Whiskey Kilo Whiskey. Sorry about that. You went right down into my noise, and literally I could only just see that you were still transmitting. I couldn't hear you. I think, Pete, I think he gave you 5 and 9. I don't know what I got, but not to worry. You take care, Martin. Thanks a lot for taking the time to come in and say hello. And if you are interested in seeing what's going on, maybe check on the live stream later on. I think we're around about 41 minutes into it. So 41 minutes into the live stream, you'll actually see the QSO with yourself. Take care, Martin. Have a great day, and bye-bye for now. QRZ, please. Mike QRZ, Mike 0, X-ray, Mike X-ray.
Golf Whiskey 4, Golf Juliet Alpha.
Okay, nice signal. Golf Whiskey 4. Golf Juliet Alpha, I think it was. QRZ?
Yes, afternoon there, Mike. This is, G7XMX. This is Golf Whiskey 4, Golf Juliet Alpha in Merthyr Tydfil, South Wales. Yes, on the station who couldn't hear you. I could hear somebody else loud and clear, but then they faded, QRM, and then you came up. Funny business here with QSBs, weird. You suddenly appeared, and loud and clear. Previous station is a bit weak, but anyway, name's Ken, if you remember, Ken Kilowatt Echo November, Merthyr Tydfil. You came right up there to 5 and 9 plus, so it wasn't a problem. So yeah, it's coming through on YouTube very well, of course, with a delay, obviously. But there we are, yes, doing a good job. It's back to you there. We got weather's not so good as it was yesterday, but it's still very warm. From GW4, GJA, Merthyr Tydfil, South Wales.
Yeah, roger that, Ken. No problem whatsoever. Thanks a lot for making the effort to come and join us. I know that you had some QRM issues there. Very, very nice to work you. I'll pass you down to Pete in a sec. But yeah, you're about 5 and 8. No problem whatsoever. Nice, crisp, sharp audio as well. As you know, my signal is coming from roughly Chester. So I'm told it's 171 miles. Is that right? 171 kilometers, sorry, line of sight, apparently. I don't know. But yeah, very, very nice signal. I'll pass you down to Pete. Pete, are you copying Kenneth, GW4GJA? G7RPG, this is M0XMX in the group.
Yeah, G7RPG. Yeah, good afternoon, Kenneth. This is Peter here. I'm actually in Portsmouth, but I'm operating a remote station which is located
What's going on?
sorry about that. Sorry, having some finger trouble there. Yes, it's an IC7300. Which is just south of Manchester on the antenna's inverted L antenna fed against the ground radial system. So you're a good signal, no problem at all here, 5 and 9, and nice easy copy. So I wonder how you copy me. GW4, GJA, this is, in fact I'm just looking in my logbook, we last spoke 10 years ago. On the 31st of March 2014. I wonder if you remember. I don't. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, G7RPG with the group, Golf Whiskey 4, Golf Union Alpha. Yeah, okay, Pete. Well, I don't remember that well, obviously, but I know your call sign. I've heard you about a few times, I'm sure I have. Possibly via the DMR network, so I'm not sure. There is an RPG about, I know. But it might be a G other number of some sort. But yeah, you're coming through 5 and 9 here. There's no problems at all. I'm just using a Yaesu FT450D. I tend to keep rigs for a long time. I don't have much enthusiasm in swapping them, and but he does the job okay. I'm not on the air too frequently as it is. I was on CW the other day, but in the garage I've got another shack outside for the summer weather, but I've been out there today. That's just a Yaesu FT8970, I think it is, which I picked up not long ago, brand new in a box, obsolete rig, brand new in its box, never been used. I picked that up for a bit of a song really. I couldn't resist it, almost a lot. You can't get a rig as good as that nowadays. Sorry, you can, but not at that sort of price anyway. So I use that one in the garage with the Yaesu ATU on it. The antenna, by the way, is I'm running about 80 watts here into a delta loop, which is multi-band delta loop. It's actually resident on the 30-metre band. I don't need the ATU at all on 30 metres. But it goes back from a 4-to-1 Ballon, well wound on a ferrite rod, piece of ferrite rod aerial. And it works very well. I'm going to stick with that. The QM is far less on this antenna. But I've noticed lots of QSB is fading more recently. I don't know if that's to do with the antenna, I'm not sure. It's still early days really. But it's working out quite well. Back to you there, and then we can pass it back to Mike. So thanks for your patience there, Mike. G7RPG in the group. This is Golf Whiskey 4, Golf Juliet Alpha, Mountain Disco.
Yeah, okay, Ken. Well, no problem at all. Nice to speak to you again after 10 years. It's one of the great uses of having an electronic logbook, because your memory does certainly plays tricks on you over the time. But anyway, let's hope it's not another 10 years till the next time we'll have a pleasure to speak to you. All the best, and thanks for the contact this afternoon. Over to you, Mike.
Yeah, Roger, very, very nice to hear you there. And carry on having a great day. Listen, we've had a request online, somebody that's listening to us on the YouTube stream. So I'd like to give, hold on. So Mike 7, Charlie Victor Kilo, and this is Tony, M7CVK. Do you copy M0XMX over? Yeah, Tony, I've got you. You're only slightly above my noise floor. I'm guessing that you're running limited power, but yeah, I've got a copy on you. You've just installed a DX Commander Rapide into your garden, so I'll tip my cap to Callan. Another success for Callan. But anyway, I don't know whether you're receiving Pete. Your signal report from me is probably a 4 and 6, and my noise floor is only a 5, or it is a 5. So not a lot of headroom, but yeah, no problem whatsoever. Back over to you, Tony. I'll pass you down to Pete in a second. Mike 7, Charlie Victor Kilo, M0XMX and the group over.
M0XMX, M7CBK. So you're 5 and 7. I've got zero noise floor. So I can hear pretty well, but we are in the middle of the countryside. But cheers for that, I can hear Pete. I don't know if you can hear me. He's a bit low. 5 and 4. QSL?
Yeah, okay, no problem. I heard that you've got a 0 noise floor, so please send me the postcode and I'll be round there later on. I dream of having a no noise floor. But yeah, and I think you just gave Pete 5 and 6. But anyway, go down to Pete and say hi. Pete, do you copy Tony? G7RPG M0XMX over, and the group over.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Mike. Yeah, very, very weak signal, but I'll try and exchange a report for you. Can you give me a break on your call sign, please, Tony? This is Peter, G7RPG.
G7RPG, M7CBK. You're actually 5 and 9. You've got 5 and 9 is your report. Pushing 5 and 9. QSL?
Yeah, thank you for the 5 and 9. You're very, very weak. You're probably readability 1 or 2. Just give me the call sign again, slowly, please, slowly. I've got M7.
M7, Charlie, Victor, Kilo. Mike 7, Charlie, Victor, Kilo.
Yeah, okay, there's somebody putting around, making a racket. M7CVK, got you that time. Thank you very much. Nice to say. It's slightly difficult conditions, so I'm not sure. I think you said you were using a temporary antenna or some sort of DX commander or something, but it's certainly not very strong with me. I'm in Portsmouth, but I'm operating a remote radio, which is just south of Manchester. It's an Icom IC7300 using the Icom RSBA1 remote control system. So thank you very much, Tony, for the contact. It's nice to speak to you this afternoon. I've got you in the log. Over to you, Mike, and thanks. This is G7RPG.
Yep, no problem, Pete. Take care, Tony, and good luck with the vertical. QRZ, please. Anybody else? This is Mike 0 XMX in QSO with Peter G7RPG. QRZ, please.
George 3, Victor Charlie George.
Okay, 2 stations there. The station ending in Victor Charlie George, please go.
Germany 3.
Okay, G3.
I thought you had the rest of it. Victor Charlie George. G3 Victor Charlie George. And good afternoon, Mike. Good afternoon, Peter. Over to you, Mike.
Yeah, roger that, Don. Sorry, I'm juggling so many different things with live streams and SDRs and stuff like that. My brain is only got so much capacity. But yeah, you're a nice signal there, Don. G3VCG. I'll pass it back to you, and I'll give you a proper signal report. But I'm physically working sat in Burton on Trent and transmitting from a remote station, which is located just outside of Chester. And Pete is physically located in Portsmouth, and he's transmitting remote from a station located not very far from Chester. 2 separate stations though. So yeah, Don, G3VCG from M0XMX and the group, over.
Yeah, very good, Mike, from G3VCG. Well, you're peaking 10 over 9, Mike. You're peaking 10 over 9. Nice sunny afternoon down here. Tony, M7 Charlie Victor Kilo, was a good 5 and 7. Very steady, very, very little QSB on his signal using that vertical he's just put up. There is a lot of QSB around, as I'm sure you know, on the band, and we're still suffering from solar flare activity. Anyway, cracking signal from you, Mike.
and I don't think Peter's far behind you with me, so I'll stick it back to you and see how things are. M0XMX, G3VCG, over.
Yeah, thanks for that, Don. You were just in the red, so a couple of dB over S9. Very, very nice audio, no problem whatsoever. I don't know whether you heard, but we're actually live streaming this as well onto YouTube. So later on, if you want to go back and have a look at this QSO, then if you aim for 55 minutes or 54 minutes into the live stream starting, then you should see the QSO between me and you can hear it and you can see the way that the signals formed and all that kind of stuff on the flex. Anyway, I'll pass you down to Portsmouth to have a chat with Pete. Pete, are you copying Don, Charlie 3, Victor, Charlie Golf? And he's in Chelmsford, or just out on the edge of Chelmsford. G7RPG M0XMX in the group, over.
Yeah, G7RPG. Yeah, good afternoon, Don. Nice to speak to you. We have worked a few times before, actually, on 40 and also 60 metres as well. 11 years ago on 60 metres. And I think most recently 2015 on 40. So nice to catch you again. As Mike alluded to there, I'm using a remote station, just experimenting with it actually. I'm down in Portsmouth and I'm using a friend's radio which is just south of Manchester, which is an Icom IC7300 using the Icom RSBA1 remote control software. Mike, of course, is on the flex. Whilst I've got the key down, I just want to do a couple of shout outs to M7TRS, M7CVK, of course, who worked in, Chris, M7VJE, listening on the live stream there, and Kenneth, of course, worked you, and G5STU, like I see on the live stream on YouTube. If you just search for M0XMX, you can find. So, nice to speak to you again, Don. All the best from sunny Portsmouth. This is G7RPG. Back to you to tie the ribbons.
Yeah, fine business, Peter, from G3VCG. Yeah, about the same as Mike, 10 over 9, maybe a tiny bit more, but not very much to talk about. Both about the same exactly with me, which I suppose it should be, coming from the same place, up there in Chester. So, excellent copy. And yeah, we've had a few QSOs before, haven't we? All very interesting, and interesting how the signals are going today. Alright, I won't hold you. Thanks for the live stream. I'll have a look at it later, just out of curiosity. And just to let you know, I'm running a Flex 3000, about 150 watts, and a lazy H antenna cut for 10 metres. Back to you there, Mike, from G3VCG, over.
Yeah, Roger, Don. I just checked my logbook, and according to this, the last time that we worked was nearly 4 years ago, the 2nd of June, 2020 on 80 metres. So very, very nice to work you again there, Don. I think we're actually connected on Facebook. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure we are. But anyway, very, very nice to work you, Don. Thanks a lot for coming back to the call. And I'll say 7-3. Right, anybody else, please? This is M0XMX, QRZ.
Mike India 0, Kilo X-Ray Tango.
Okay, there's a Mike India 0 station. There is another station, and we will get to you very, very quickly. But yeah, the Mike India 0 station, please, QRZ.
Good afternoon, Mike India 0, Kilo X-Ray Tango, just outside a town called Dungiven in Northern Ireland. The name here is Steve, and you are 59 plus 10, 59 plus 10 there, Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, Steve. Very, very nice to work you. You're just tipping into the red, so a couple of dBs over S9. No problem whatsoever. I haven't got you in my logbook before, so it's nice to have you in there for the first time. And yeah, you probably already heard me say I started off this afternoon receiving a text message off Peter, G7RPG, saying, have you got a couple of minutes just to help me do some tests? And here I am now, probably around about 3 hours later, in in the middle of a humongous pile-up. So, yeah, none of this was planned. And halfway through this, I've managed to set up a live stream, of which we've got 14 people currently watching. So, big wave to you guys. So, yeah, I'll give you a signal report on your next, and then I'll pass you down and you can have a chat with Pete. MI0KXT, M0XMX, and the group.
Yeah, Roger, all copied there, no problem at all there, Mike. It's great to get you in the log, as you say, for the first time. Obviously, I'm in Northern Ireland here at the moment. I actually used to live on the Wirral. I grew up on the Wirral there. In fact, I have a brother who lives in Chester. I heard the mention of Chester. He lives on D Lane in Chester. And I do get over there quite often, well, whenever I can actually, to go and see my relatives over on the Wirral and down to Chester there. But great to get you, and I'll wait for Pete, the G7RPG, and hopefully he can hear me too there. All the best then. Thanks a lot, Mike 73.
Yeah, no problem, Steve. You're just a few dB into the red. I think I already said that. So lovely signal, lovely audio. Pete, have you got Steve, MI0KXT, over?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. MI0KXT, this is G7RPG. Good afternoon, Steve. No problem at all. Bit of a mixed bag report for you, actually. I'm working a remote station about 16 miles north of where Mike's remote station is. They're just south of Manchester. And I've got you 5 and 4 and 8. But I've got you plus 20 on the hat green. Interestingly enough, there is another signal which is kind of creeping up underneath, which I'm hearing squeaking away on the Manchester radio, but I'm not hearing that on the hat green one. So it's fascinating having a couple of receivers in different places at the same time. They're almost perfectly in sync with each other. Coming into my earphones, and it's interesting to see the signal on the waterfall on both receivers. But I'm actually transmitting on the via the station near Manchester. So nice to speak to you. Looking at my logbook, first time we've spoken, or certainly I've logged it anyway. So it's a pleasure to speak to you this afternoon, Steve. Just get a report from you, and then it was back to Mike. 73 from G7RPG.
Yes, Roger, Peter, G7RPG, MI0KXT returning. You're about a 5 and 9 plus 10. 5 and 9 plus 10. I see, as you say, you both, I think, using remote stations. I think I saw a mention on QRZ of a Flex Radio 6300, which I actually used to have myself. I followed that then with a Sun SCR2CX, and now I am actually using a Yaesu FTDX10. So I'm probably running about 85 watts here into a homemade 40-meter sky loop, which is only about 25 feet around the outside of the back garden there. But it's great to get you in a log there, Peter. As I said, obviously I'm in Northern Ireland here. I've lived here now for probably 15 and 16 years, but originally I'm from the Wirral, around that area. So great to get you. Thanks again. You take care, and hopefully I'll speak to you again soon enough in the near future. In the meantime, MI0KXT, saying 73 to G7RPG.
Cheers, Steve.
Mike 6, where did it go?
Golf India 8 Kilo Zulu uniform.
Okay, I'll pick it up, Steve. I'll pick it up, Pete. Yeah, there was quite a few stations there. There was a Golf India station. Please go ahead.
Golf India 8 Kilo Zulu uniform. Good evening, gentlemen, or good afternoon. The name is Ron Romeo Oscar November. I'm about 15 miles southeast of the city of Belfast.
Yeah, Roger, sorry, something went wrong from my end on my keyboard. I didn't quite get the whole call sign. Could you just give me the rest of it? GI8 Kilo, question mark.
Yeah, 8 Kilo Zulu uniform. Kilo Zulu uniform, Roger.
Yeah, all copied, no problem, Ron. Very, very nice to work you in Belfast. I hope you're doing well, sir. The name this side is Mike, and I'm physically located in Burton on Trent, and my actual location of my transmitter is just outside Chester, which is a Flex 6300. I'm in QSO with Peter, G7RPG, who's located down in Portsmouth, and he's remoting into an Icom 7300. 7300, which is located on the south side of Manchester. I'll pass it back to you, then I'll give you a signal report, and then I'll pass you down to Pete. So GI8KZU M0XMX in the group.
M0MX. Sorry, Mr. Your call sign. Yes, thank you very much. You're both 5 and 9 plus 20 with me. Good, really good BBC quality audio. I've been working in the shack for about an hour or so now, just listening to you. Lots of communication from boys all over the UK, and I can hear most of them, except for the chat with the Callum's antenna. He was very, very low with me. But it's lovely to speak to you, lad. And you've got the 8 Kilo Zulu uniform.
Yep, fine business there, Ron. You were about 5 and 8, and I think I may have even mentioned that we're live streaming this, so you can actually go back to that live stream and play it back and actually see your signal and hear yourself. If you look for roughly 1 hour and 5 minutes into the stream, that's where we are now. Anyway, I'll pass you down to Portsmouth to have a chat with Pete. Pete, are you copying Golf India 8 Kilo Zulu uniform?
Yeah, okay, Mike, thanks very much. Yeah, good afternoon, Ron. This is Peter, G7RPG, and I'm in the sunny city of Portsmouth, and I'm operating a remote Icom IC7300, which is at a friend of mine's house, just south of Manchester, 16 miles north of where Mike's radio is. He's also operating a remote, so we were sort of trying a bit of an experiment this afternoon, but it just seems to be working okay. And a fairly weak signal on the Manchester receiver, but I can hear you. You're plus 20 on the Hat Green web SDR receiver, so we'll give you the plus 20 report there, Ron. Just looking in my logbook, doesn't look like we've worked before. Certainly if we have, I didn't log it. But pleasure to speak to you today, and all the very best from G7RPG 73. And by the way, whilst I got the key down, there was a portable station I heard as well, Mike. Back to you, Ron.
Okay, Peter, all copies. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed, you're 5 and 9 plus 10 with me. Lovely clear signal. Lovely clear audio. Really, really nice. I'm running this end a TS590SG into an MZ half-wave, half-size one just across the garden. But lovely signal, boys. Lovely to speak to you. I'll let you carry on. Golf in the 8 Kilo Zulu uniform. Clear with you. Cheers.
Yep, thanks a lot, Ron. You take care, sir. Thanks a lot for coming in and say hello. And yeah, have a great weekend. Right, all stations, please stand by one moment. Have we got any portable stations? Any portable stations, please? QRZ. I've got nothing, Pete.
Was there somebody portable calling? No, they may have moved on, Mike. Back to you.
Okay, no problem. QRZ, please. M0XMX and the group. Oh, it's gone quiet, Pete. Anybody else, please? Mike 0, X-ray, Mike X-ray. No? Do you want to call Pete?
Your aerial's still tucked in, Mike. Well, it's been maybe it's a good time to wind things down. I kind of was not expecting this, but it's a little bit of an impromptu net on 40 metres this afternoon. It's been amazingly good fun. I can't tell you how thrilled to bits I am, and I know we're sort of pushing the envelope a little bit with the technology here, but it just works, doesn't it, Mike? And I've found that I wasn't kind of expecting this, but anyway, it's working well. I've got kind of windows open all over the place here. I've got your live stream on, just watching the waterfall display. It's been quite useful actually, because you've got to be pretty much on the ball, haven't you, with logging call signs down. And I've had found myself quickly flicking back to your screen, Mike, to see if I can work out what the call time was, so I can put it in my logbook. But anyway, back to you, Mike. This is G7RPG.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, it is a juggling act. It really, really is. So I've got obviously the flex screen open, which doesn't take a lot of work to be honest, other than just watching it and just making sure that everything is working. SWR and all that kind of stuff. And then at the middle screen is my login software, which doesn't need to take up the whole of a 32-inch 4K monitor, but it just is. And then the right hand screen is to do with the stream and any chat and stuff. So yeah, it's been a brilliant afternoon, honestly, Pete. I didn't want it to end, and if we'd have started the stream when we started this kind of thing, it would have gone on for another at least 30 minutes. And it just, well, yeah, you couldn't have planned it better, could you? It's been amazing fun, absolutely brilliant. Really, really, really enjoyed it. And do you know what? Also, I mean, for those of you that recognise the call sign G7RPG, or for those of you that have come over because you've seen it or heard it talked about on HubNet, you'll know, Pete, you will recognise that call sign, the RPG part, because Pete is absolutely synonymous with HubNet and All-Star, because it's the G7RPG nodes that he creates that allow a lot of us, including me, to access the HubNet system. So, absolutely, that's the superstar behind HubNet. Well, one of the superstars. So yeah, it's been amazing, Pete. And I suppose I better call QRZ a couple more times just in case there's anybody that now wants to join us because of what I've just said and the fact that you're a superstar. So if we don't get anybody, then we can carry on enjoying our weekend, mate. But yeah, it has been it's been monumental. I think that is the word that's going to stick with me. So yeah, with a pause, over to you, Pete. But anybody else that would like to join us before we wrap it up? This is M0XMX in QSO with G7RPG. QRZ, please. No, I'm not hearing anybody, Pete. One last call. QRZ, anybody else? No, the scope is clear. Okay, Pete, I think we're safe to get on with our weekend. Back down to you, mate, and then I'll say 7-3. G7RPG M0XMX.
Yeah, cheers, Mike. Well, as I say, I've really enjoyed myself today. I hope I haven't interrupted your day too much. I know you were planning to head off out with your 705. Hopefully you might still be able to do that. It's been absolutely glorious down here, so I need to crack on and get some stuff done anyway. But till the next time, Mike, cheerio, and your signal's been absolutely solid as well, so brilliant signal from you. It's been interesting looking at hearing the different signal reports with the two receivers as well, so and trying to watch what's happening on your screen as well, trying to work out who. So I've got the sound muted on that, but I also, incidentally, I sent you a link, Mike, to the Western Supermare receiver, which is excellent. It's on a hill actually. It's right in the sort of out in the countryside a bit, away from all the buildings, and it's got an excellent signal to noise ratio, highly optimised actually as an SDR receiver. So it's one of the I've forgotten the brand name of it. It's not the normal web SDR. It's a custom a bespoke project. It's gone out of my mind. Anyway, I'll send you a link to it. Do try it out. It works exceptionally well on the lower bands, particularly 80 and top bands. Cheers, Mike. 73 G7RP Kiwi SDR. That's what it is. Cheers. Bye.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. Thanks for that, Pete. I'm going to take a look at that with great interest now. Listen, mate, you take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. And do you know what? Although we both spend a lot of time on HubNet, it just goes to show that we are real radio amateurs at the end of the day. Take care, mate. 7-3 and 7-3 to anybody that's been listening. M0XMX now clear.
Mike on the
Yeah,
Alpha, Juliet, Extra Echo.